yo. What up, doe?
Yeah, what she said.
Yeah.
We are back with our next episode, and as we mentioned before, we're doing a little mini series where we're just celebrating each one of the members.
Yes, we are.
Talking about what we love about each one of them, and we're going in the order of the fan chant. So today we are gonna go over Min Yoongi, otherwise known as Suga.
Who we miss very much at this point in time,
Depending
which is
on
during the time of his after his arm surgery, his shoulder surgery. So that's why we really desperately miss him so much.
Yeah.
by the time you're listening to this, yes, I don't want this to end up being like timed or something, but Suga had his shoulder surgery a little while ago, and he's basically just in recovery right now.
Yeah.
Everything went well. He's just resting and recovering,
Which he
so
deserves.
he's taking a break. Yep. From promotions and things like that, but we're all thinking about him.
Yes, we are.
And hope that he's in good spirits.
He
Yes,
is. He did a V live, and he kept wiggling his fingers.
Hey.
Arby kept asking, he kept wiggling the fingers. You see, is all
And
connected.
then Armin's
it's all
like,
good.
wait, okay, it's been 5 minutes. Wiggle them again.
Yeah,
Just make sure.
literally. He wiggled them suckers like 3-4
Do you
times.
need any water? Do you need anything?
I will teleport you water if I have to. I will make that possible. But, Mama, you go first. Go first. Go now.
Go now.
I think he's already getting
Go
emotional.
now. I'll talk about Yoongles.
Yoongi!
Yoongi, to me, is the thug of the group.
Yeah, he is. He is. Straight up and sideways.
I don't know.
He is straight up.
And I love him for it.
Yes.
Because sometimes I feel like our boys are just a little bit too gentle.
Squishy.
Too passive.
Soft, too passive. And he just like, oh, hell no. I'm coming up the rear. Hold
He
on.
handles that.
He handles it in just so many different ways. I love it. I love it. It's like it makes me complete because we can't do what he does in the way that he does it, and he does it just right. I don't know what I
He
just
does
said,
it perfectly.
but I hope y'all understand
Army
it.
understands. Army understands.
I could
He
not
does it perfectly.
live without August D. I'll tell you that. I literally would not be alive without August D. And what you said just now reminded me of that. I've always admired so much how Suga is so willing to just come out and just freaking say it. And you know what? He doesn't even have to name drop. All of these haters that are always
He
trying
can
to
just drop his own name. This one,
Yeah.
he can just drop his own name.
If the shoe fits.
Heck yeah, man.
See, the thing is, okay, so like Hobie and V, and a lot of the guys, we had to tell them, yo, you're awesome, you're the man, you're the bomb.com. Yoongi came out the womb knowing he was the stuff. And he was like, I'm gonna ease the world into this. I don't want to break them. and ever since then, and also Army didn't realize we needed him until we saw him and knew him. And then we're like, oh snap, that's what I've been missing in my life.
Yeah, literally.
Yoongi. Yeah.
I think there's a great respect that Yoongi in particular brings to the group. Because I remember when I was first learning about BTS, I feel like Suga's story stands like at the front of my mind.
Oh, yes.
The clearest always of all the members. He didn't have it easy, and he also his path was also just so realistic. Like he really did come from this
Meager beginnings, yeah.
meager beginnings, the same places that each of us can absolutely see ourselves being in. I feel like that makes him almost like easiest to relate to when you're first getting into BTS.
He
you
would
might
be the
hear
best anime character also. His side story would be epic.
yes,
Just
he
like-
absolutely would.
He's layered. All of the members are layered, but he's layered in his life story, in his skill level,
And
in
his
his
art.
ability to be a performer, in his struggles. He's just layered, and we get to see all those different layers of him. I like the soft Yoongi too. The one that'll waddle down the street.
That is what's so crazy about his duality.
He's also a grandpa.
his
What the heck?
duality,
How you gonna be
exactly.
hood and hard and whatnot, but you also a grandpa? So my thing about Yoongi is I have a photo of him on my wall at work, and now at this point, the rare times that I have downtime at work, I can write. And every time I look at him, the gaze that he has is just inspiring.
That piercing gaze.
Yeah, like his I have all the guys on my wall at work, but it's his that gets me like, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I gotta get this done. I'm gonna move forward. And I don't know why. It's like his energy. He put his energy into that picture, and he smacked it, and he said, "Here you go." You know, and now his energy is in that picture.
Here you go, that's for you.
Yeah, like his that's what Yoongi is to me. He really inspires me. All the guys inspire me, but he is a big source of inspiration for me.
I feel like he's been the most vocal in terms of like how it felt for him chasing his dreams.
Artistic
Like
struggle.
yes. In his music, I feel like he's made the most like content just surrounding specifically around what it was like
Maybe
going
that's why
after
he
his
inspires me.
dreams.
And
his
beyond
lyrics,
the fact that
his
he's like
lyrics.
a genius.
A natural genius when it comes,
When it comes
a
to,
natural
yeah,
musical genius.
music and all the songs that he writes and produces, and he's just
That's that too. He is the producer of the group. I mean, all of them produce to some extent, but Yoongi goes and produces other people's songs too.
You're gonna say a lot. So
Yeah,
you need
so
to
you
get
should
a
get
little
started.
bit of it out
wow.
over time.
Get started
So,
now, Guana.
Y'all are crazy.
Go ahead.
I'm just listening to what y'all are saying, and I have so much going through my head, and I should have actually spoke as y'all were speaking. I'm thinking so much about him, and over the years, and watching him grow, and the things that he said. Listening to Mimi say, he's layers. He's layers, but at the beginning, I didn't realize he was layers. Like when Seesaw came out, I was going through a rough time when Seesaw came out, and that song spoke to me in so many ways, but it baffled me too, and I think it baffled all of us, because when he came out on the stage and gave us what he
and
gave
start
us,
wiggling
And dance and dance. Yeah.
and it floored us, and we were like, he's
Swag.
singing,
Yeah.
and he's dancing
And grinning at
and
us while he did it.
And then after that, immediately Army started putting out clips of, yeah, but y'all missed it. Yoongi's always been dancing. Look at this throughout the years, and look at that, and look at this. And it was like, what the hell have we been missing? I mean, Yoongi's been doing this, and he's been doing that. And then fast forward a little bit, and Min Yoongi said, I'm going to be good at whatever I put my hands to. And when I heard this brother say that, I'm like, what the? So he can be, it's not a conceit about him. It's an honesty. It comes across very honest. And then as you repeat it to somebody, like I've heard myself say that, and I've heard myself, like when he came out with the guitar. He did the V-Live with the guitar. And I was messaging you guys in chat, and I was like, this so-and-so was not joking when he said, I can be good at whatever I put my hands to. I just know I am. When I hear myself repeat that, I'm like, this cocky so-and-so, but it's not conceit.
It's not.
It's not.
It's authentic.
He just says it matter-of-factly. He just knows that. And I get that, you know what? This man has known that pretty much all his life, I bet.
One of my favorite lines, and this is on topic, one of my favorite lines by Bruce Lee is him answering a question to a reporter who asked him, are you really that good? And he said, well, if I say that I am, you'll think that I'm boasting. But if I say that I'm not, you know I'm lying. So that's Yoongi. He's just being honest.
Exactly.
He is
what I'm
literally just
saying.
being honest.
So when I think back the time that he said it matter-of-factly. He said it like, pass me that water. And so I was watching In the Soup the other night, and he was having a very candid conversation with Jen. And when they have these off-the-cuff candid conversations, it's not something they build up to. It's just something that ends up happening. And you honestly just want to be a fly on the wall every second of their lives, especially when they're together, because it just happens.
Yeah, because they're connected.
It just happens.
Yeah.
And kind of like when we've said sometimes, oh my God, why don't we have cameras rolling all the time? Because stuff
Lord,
just
it
happens.
happens.
When you're
Absolutely.
family and when you're connected, stuff just
Yeah.
happens. So they're having this conversation, and it's like, Yoongi, is he half asleep? Did he just wake up? I can't recall. But anyway, Jen is sitting there, and it's like he all of a sudden realizes this brother is laying down some emotional stuff. Am I supposed to be listening hard or what? So Yoongi is like literally saying, I think Jen kind of started off with, oh, they started back and forth with, what would you be doing if you weren't doing this? And where would you be in your life with this? And he's like, man, you'd be a actor, a really big actor by now, and so forth and so on. And then Yoongi started saying stuff like, I had to back off. I started feeling guilty with all the things I started accomplishing. Do y'all remember that? I literally started feeling guilty with all the things I started accomplishing, and I felt like I needed to start backing off with working so hard. And I'm like, I had to tap my screen like, back up, you read that wrong. And that's literally what he was saying. And Jen started seriously telling him, don't feel that way. You have to start thinking, just think about the accomplishments. Take it in stride. Take it, and I'm paraphrasing like the moon, as big as the moon. But, you know, take it in stride. Think about all the accomplishments. And you encouraged me to work as hard. And I think that's how it started. That's what got me and Yoongi to talking about his accomplishments. And it was Jen saying, I work as hard as I do because over the years, I was encouraged by watching my brothers work as hard as they work. But that man talking about, and he was talking about it matter-of-factly, he was literally talking about the fact that I honestly had to stop working as hard as I worked.
Do you think he felt that because did he feel like he didn't deserve that?
Almost like that.
Yeah.
Almost like that. Like, I'm greedy. That's the word that translated out. I felt like I started being greedy because I was succeeding at so many things. Like, so I had to back off. And Jen was like, no, don't look at it that way. Don't look at it that way.
And this is gonna, I don't know how this is gonna sound, but as someone who's been told all her life that she's awesome,
You talking to me? You're directing
no,
this to me?
I'm directing that to me. So as someone who's been told all her life that she's awesome, but had to make herself believe that, I think the state of mind he might have been at, there's a sense of guilt that you feel when, like, do I really...
Like, are you living up to people's expectation of you?
It's like imposter syndrome.
I think it's something that artists feel, genuine artists like Yoongi feel when they've reached a certain point, and it's like, wow, he's this, wow, he's that, wow, he's that. Give him this, give him that, give him this. It's like, is this? Do I really? Should I keep going? Like, what's? I think that it makes sense. It's very hard to describe, but it's something that a genuine artist like him feels when people put in his face and label him as this, which he genuinely is. It makes sense that
I
he's
like
feeling
it
that
because
way.
to me it's a sign of him being grounded.
Yeah.
It's a sign of him being humble and grounded.
Humble, definitely.
The reason so many people fall out of this industry is because, number one, they're not grounded, and number two, it becomes too much, and they turn to this or turn to that, and it's just never a good outcome. So the fact that he feels that way, it's to me, it just shows that he's grounded.
I think often about the time that he shared with us that I forget what it was they accomplished, and he shared with us the fact that he was in the shower and the tears hit him because it stunned him. It hit him. It was like, and what do we do now?
Because you know what? It's like standing on a glass, like behind a glass, and you're bamming on the glass, and like a million people are on the other side, and it's just you on the other opposite end, and you're like help, like pay attention to me, I'm here, and then in one fell swoop they all look.
And then you weren't ready for it. You didn't expect it to come so fast.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, wait a minute.
So I accomplished getting their attention. Okay,
what you gonna do with it? You know?
I think a part of him also is the so we know all of our guys keep each other in check on don't let it go to your head from the get-go. They've always been, do not let this go to your head. Don't go overboard. Don't make it feel like make yourself feel like you're better than what you really are. Keep grounded, right? I think that that's also a part of it. Like, he does not want it to consume him to where I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this.
Maybe.
I'm this good, you know? So that's another part of being
I've
grounded.
noticed too, Yoongi's been pretty vocal over the years about his feelings of people turning to drug abuse, for example, especially since he had a friend personally who turned to drug abuse. And I think, just like you said, he's very conscious of the consequences of not keeping grounded and keeping your mind straight. And Yoongi has been kind of like the advocate of the group, like the visual of the group when it comes to things like mental health, because he's been there, and because he might seem reserved at first to people that don't know him, but he is the most vocal about the most touchy topics. And I think that that's something that we can all really respect about him. Like, he might seem
absolutely
like he's not very outspoken at first because he's very quiet in interviews and stuff like that. But when he talks about things that really matter.
Yeah, when he talks, he has something
That
to say.
also brings me back to the very beginning when Mimi said he's... do you call him a thug? Do you call him a gangster?
Yeah, I call him a
thug. He's a thug.
But
He's a thug.
he does that with such swag. The way in which his gangsterism about him. It's just its own time. The way in which he does it. So people can be gangster. So I'm gonna take me for example. It's all over the place. If I get upset about something, if I want to put somebody in place, if I want to check somebody, y'all have heard me say I don't have a filter. I go from 0 to 360.
I see.
There's no in between. But Yoongi is just, he knows how to do it and when to do it. So there's a time and a place for everything, and he's going to put that mixtape out. He's going to lay that track down, and he's going to do it.
That's what he is.
The right time
His
and in
gangster
the right place.
is cypher gangster.
It's
Dang type gangster.
And it's on point and on time. It's not just all wild and all over the place like some people.
He oozes awesome.
And they called rappers out all the time that are pretty much just all talk. And I love how much weight like their words always carry in their raps, because they do just speak the truth. He never says something that just isn't true. He doesn't boast about himself unless he can walk the walk. He doesn't say things about himself that aren't true.
Yeah.
He just lays down the facts, and he calls other people out for, just boasting about themselves when they have nothing to boast about.
And can we talk about it's not 99.99% filled with sex? Like, can we talk about that? It's just amazing how, I'm gonna say it because we talking about a rapper. I'm gonna talk about the rap industry. It's just amazing how that is 99 and it's so like accepted. Like it's just so common.
It's just how it is.
Nobody blinks an eye over it. It is what it is. And
unfortunately, even the legitimate artists out there, that's the only way they can get paid, by putting that stuff out.
Right. They're pressured to put out that kind of content.
But Yoongi is.
Yeah, but he's putting out hard content with a message.
Yes.
Like your head bobbing left to the right, and
then you slapped in the face with the message.
And your kid can listen to it. Your head bobbing left and right, and your grandma can listen to it. Nothing that these boys do, I'm embarrassed by.
No.
Or ashamed of. Nothing.
They just give us so much to be proud of.
For real, though.
Do we have anything else to say about Yoongi before we go to our messages?
I guess Zoe's gonna start with the personal message. She's already
Yoongi,
started.
I love you. I love you. I love you. I love.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Well, so basically what I said at the beginning of what you give to me just by being who you are and getting through your struggles. It's a lot of responsibility to be someone who inspires someone else, and you inspire the whole world. But take that lightly in a way that just being you and going through your trials and your mistakes and being flawed, that's what inspires people. You being honest and genuine. So just be yourself, and that you really help me get through certain things, and I appreciate and respect how genuine you are. I love you.
I like people with shells. Because what that tells me is that they don't mess with just anybody. And that tells me that when you get into that shell, then you probably a friend for life. And Yoongi definitely had a shell. And over time, it feels like Army has broken down that shell. And we in there like swimwear, y'all. We in there. Like
so we are in there. And I love that. I love the word.
I just love how he is showing us a different side of him, and I am eating it up. I just love the fact that he is beginning to be comfortable with who and what he is, and we get to see that. We get to see the many layers of him. And to say... I do love you. I love all of y'all, but it goes beyond that. It goes to a level of like we fam. Like I feel genuinely connected to each and every one of you, and it's just your struggles are our struggles, and your happiness is our happiness, and we just want nothing but the best for you. All right.
Min Yoongi. So first of all, as my bias wrecker, I feel some kind of way about you.
That's right.
I, other than respecting everything that you do, my personal connection to you is I love so much that you are so comfortable with just saying things that other people are not willing to say, that I know for sure that if I was tight with the boys like that, if I ever had like a very serious topic to talk about, you would be the first person I would go to talk about something I was uncomfortable mentioning to the group, because I just know that you'd be the type that would just truly listen at first and truly offer me, you know, what you have to say, and most
Safe
of all,
space.
yeah, and most of all, I know that you would just understand the most, because you've just been so vocal about the things that you've gone through and being comfortable with talking about, you know, both the light and dark sides of you. You know, we've talked about some of the other members, and we're not saying anyone's better than anyone else at all. But say, for example, the way that Jin might say, all I want ARMY to see is good things, and he might hide some things from us. You, on the flip side, are the member who would be the first one to say, I'm getting shoulder surgery because I got hit by a car a few years ago. And just no sugarcoating it. That's what happened. And
We
now I'm going to
appreciate
go
that
have
honesty.
surgery.
Yeah, we do.
Yes. So I want to thank you for being so honest, and thank you for putting out such fire mixtapes. Again, I would not live without August D in my life.
Oh my goodness.
I love
August
you,
D.
Yoongi.
On one knee.
Yoongi?
Yeah, we did
You got
what they
1 minute.
said. We love you. I love you, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being honest and being so candid with us and putting everything out there from the very beginning. From the beginning of you feeling like you let us down when you didn't show up one time and had a breakdown or meltdown. You shared that with us, and you said, I'll never do that again. I won't do that to you guys, no matter what's going on. And you started sharing with us, and you started being open with us from the very beginning. That is hard to do. That's extremely hard. And that takes a special kind of person to do that, and do it on a worldwide level. I don't know if you realized from the very beginning, you weren't just doing that with a small fandom. You were doing that
15
worldwide.
It's unheard of that nobody else in the industry would have done that.
So yeah, that was unprecedented. Thank you for doing that and making us feel like we were not alone, and making us feel like we were not oddballs if we were going through some of the same things.
Making us
So-
feel like we were just fans. You made us feel like we were family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then individuals, you were just a normal, typical individual who just, I'm a round the way guy who just, I go through it. And I just happen to be a genius that goes through it.
That's exactly what you would say.
Yeah, and I'm gonna share it with you. I'm gonna give it to you, and it is what it is. So thank you for being that and letting us be a part of it all these years.
Yeah,
You know
absolutely.
what?
And sharing your talent with us.
To the people who raised these guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
Y'all did it right.
Right?
Y'all did something right. But yeah.
And thank you for believing in your passion and following your dreams, because we know that wasn't easy either.
We know that wasn't easy, so thank you for that.
All right.
Yoongi.
Yoongi.
But yep, that is the end of what we had to say about Yoongi in this short period of time. If it were up to us, we'd go on forever.
Literally. I think you can tell.
Literally.
There's no telling how long that's gonna be once we put it all together.
That was us rushing through it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It sure was.
But thank you so much for listening. As I've mentioned before, our main platform is YouTube, so go ahead and head over there and check out our channel at WWARMYTV, and we'll see you there. But thank you so much for listening once again, and
Now you know
Yoongi.
Wow, we did it.
We did. We didn't even hesitate.
all right, bye y'all.
Love you, Yoongos.
I'm hungry, yeah.